My name is Betty Howd, and I'm here to tell you how God has changed my mold. And when I raised my hand, I didn't know that I was going to be giving my personal testimony, so I couldn't figure out how I could get 76 years in 3 minutes, but I'm going to give it a try. I decided to give my testimony from the time I got baptized the second time instead of when I was 13, because at 13 I really didn't understand what I was doing. And so I got baptized again in Israel. I went through the Jordan River. And so I lived with an alcoholic for 25 years, and I thought that I was in charge of his life, that I could make him move and do something different. Well, as you know, that's not true. I finally found myself very depleted. I didn't know where to go. I was just starved for some direction. And so anyhow, I do see clearer today how God He never left me, even though I really did reject him when I was going through the marriage. And so after 7 years, I remarried, and I remarried a man that was very loving and very understanding. And but soon after I did get married, is that I found a lump in my breast, and I had to go to the doctor to have a biopsy, and that ended up in surgery and 6 weeks of radiation. And I found myself at that time really concerned about death. And I found myself going back to the depths of that despair, is that I didn't know who to talk to. And even with the marriage, I still went down to that place. Doug and I decided to try to find a church, because I thought, well, maybe it's God. Maybe I need a church to go to. And so we decided to try to find a new church. And after a couple of attempts, I couldn't. And I had met Shirley and Don Allen at the senior center. And I asked them where they went to church. And they tried to tell me, but we could not find where it was located. So I let it go. Then we entered into a dancing class, and I met Betty and Forrest West. And I asked them, well, where did they go dancing? And they told me, we go to our church. And I said, your church? I didn't know churches had dancing that you could go to. And so, to make a long story short, is that I ended up at Bridges. And we started going to church, and I decided that we wanted to join the church. And they had this Get Started class. Well, Doug and I entered the class, and we had to give our personal story of where we were in our Christian life. And I just so happened to have Fred Bybee give me my ask me for the testimony. And when we were talking, somehow I said something that maybe triggered his thoughts. And he said, do you want to have a mentor, to somebody to help you go through the Bible and just help you understand it? And I thought, sure. I was just starved for information for that. And, oh gosh, too much. Anyhow, I met with my mentor, and she started me out in John 1, and I found out that, what it meant to be a Christian and how you went about being a Christian. And so I decided that that's what I'll just stop now, because that's too long.